Said it to you way back at the beginning of the month, guys, but we are still here. It is time for our fourth best and worst show of the month. I've said it since episode 1. We brought you in on the Rocky theme tune, and he is officially here. There's no doubts now. AJ is back in town. The Silver Screen Dudes have been reunited.
In week 1, you heard me say we're going to talk on film reviews, which Mr. Luro has done while I've been away. The most notable one would be 18 minutes and a couple of seconds. Very interesting. Please click the link above.
Guilty.
And it's been enjoyable. I really sat there and laughed quite a bit. I realise you probably didn't, but that's a different thing. I'm talking about Transformers last night, and we're talking about his favourite director, producer, the one, the only, Mr. Michael Bay. What? Yes. Do you know what? Because of what Michael has done to Transformers, and I know the passion Nick has for Transformers, I was like, I don't know about this guy until I actually looked at the films when I heard we're doing this best and worst, and I was like, actually not so bad. I've actually enjoyed quite a lot of his films.
And if you've seen my review, guys, I've also said at the end of the review, he's not a bad director.
To your credit, you did.
I did say that. He has made some good movies. He's just passed his fucking sell-by date with the Transformers. I mustn't say that word. It just gets me angry. But he's also not as good as I thought he was.
Okay.
Not just much. I actually like a lot of his movies. When I say not as good, I mean specifically in the Rotten Tomatoes scoring rate area.
Okay.
Like, he hasn't scored anywhere near as highly as I thought he would. Like, movies where I'm like, oh, those are actually quite good. Not such.
Fair enough.
But on that note, we're definitely going to have to go best to worst here. AJ, what's your favourite Michael Bay?
Do you know what? I actually went for this one because of the nostalgia element that I had of, I'll just say it, because I didn't pick it, was The Rock. I was actually really touched by Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. I thought it was real good chemistry. It was a really fantastic movie. One of those that you didn't know what to expect, and it delivered quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the movie for me, the one that made it a buddy cop movie. I enjoyed Bad Boys 1, but I'm going Bad Boys 2. I just love the comedy elements, the action elements. I just love the elements of that. Bad Boys 1 was enjoyable, just a bit too serious. This one brought the comedy elements that you can get from Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Delivered it all for me. The perfect buddy cop movie from Michael Bay. There are.
Yeah. Do you know what? I just want to touch on that a minute, because my missus had never seen a Bad Boys movie, and we recently watched them both back to back. Well, I'm talking a week or two ago.
Okay.
Bad Boys 2 has aged.
I'm sure it has.
It's aged, whereas Bad Boys 1 hasn't. Wait, the problem with Bad Boys 2, like that standout scene on the freeway, Fast and the Furious owns that shit now.
You see, Bad Boys 2 came out in an era, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, around Bad Boys 2 time, Fast and the Furious 2 time, and a lot of that stuff in that era will age. It was for its time. It was definitely for its time. Whereas, Bad Boys 1 I can see B, and it could stand the test of time, definitely.
And I still have to say, Woosah. It's still iconic. My best, you know what? I nearly went with Bad Boys.
Okay.
I nearly went with one of his, again, I think people didn't see this because it was in between Transformers 4 and 5 and people had just given up on Bay at this stage. But it was actually a good movie. It was 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, the true story.
I was tempted to go.
Really good, solid movie. And John Krasinski, or Krasinski as the Poles would have you say, was excellent in it. But I have to say, my favourite is The Rock. I love The Rock.
Right,
absolutely love The Rock. I think Sean Connery I look at Sean Connery and I still see James Bond. Even with his grey hair and grey beard, I'm like, you're still Bond, mate. And Bond kind of being a bit of an anti-Bond in this. He was essentially just an evil, not an evil, a bit of a bad Bond in this. Yeah. You know, spy, he escaped Alcatraz and everything. Nicolas Cage, who's usually quite a pumped up action star, was interesting seeing him play a sort of, kooky, not kooky, but more science-based character. And whereas some people, Mark Wahlberg from Transformers 4 and 5, cannot play kooky science or inventive because they are just muscle-bound action heroes, Nicolas Cage showed he could do both. And the supporting cast was excellent as well.
Very strong.
Really, really, really good. Ed Harris, notably, excellent in this. I can't remember his name, the Candyman. He was excellent in this. Now, this was a genuinely good, solid action movie. And I think if I wanted to show someone, if people ask me what was the 90s all about, I would say you need to watch 2 movies. You need to watch The Rock and you need to watch True Lies. That will, that will show you 90s action.
Yeah.
Let's get to the fun stuff. AJ, your worst.
Okay, my worst. You're gonna hate me for this.
We'll be careful.
I think you'll hate me, but you'll respect it at the same time. I might get a lot of stick for this. Transformers. Welcome back to the screen. I'll tell you what. My problem that I still have with Transformers, and I've vowed, so this may change if we ever do a Michael Bay Part 2, is I'm going to go for it all over again. But I kept getting confused with who is who. Who's the good bot, who's the bad bot, and it was too much. And that's why it's the confusion factor. The film itself is good, Transformers are excellent, I still have a passion for them, it was just who is who. And that's what's giving me a problem. And that's where I'm going to go down that way.
That is fair enough. Actually, although one in terms of story is hands down the most solid of all of them, hands down, there's no doubt that one was also, it hadn't quite got the effects right yet, and it was, the camera all felt a little bit too close, it was all a bit jumbled mess, except in that last fight scene, which worked.
Yeah.
But you know, in the first fight, the first time they transformed when Bumblebee fought Barricade, it was a bit like, okay, that's just a mess. I don't know what's going on here, and I'm a diehard. But I have to say, the Transformers, although the stories got weaker, who damn, the effects. Forget 4 and 5.
1 to 3.
1 to 3, the effects got progressively better and better in those. I mean, especially if you watch number 2, which is not a good movie, but the forest scene in number 2. Hot diggity, that fucking scene is good. My worst, I nearly went with Pain and Gain. Which a lot of people like.
Yes. I understand your reasons not for.
They don't. My reasons for not liking Pain and Gain, this is a true story. This is an actual story about a bunch of bodybuilders who killed people. Who basically did barbaric shit, and to cover up their tracks, killed people. And Michael Bay has turned this into a sort of noir comedy. It's like, mate, if this wasn't a true story, then that's fine. Then it's like out there. This actually happened. You can't, you know, imagine if it was me that got killed. How would you feel if Michael Bay made a movie and depicting my death in comedy way like that? It's not funny. If it's a real story, you cannot make the untimely demise of a human being funny. It's not cool. So,
I'll give you that.
The movie's actually annoyingly well put together. But think about the families of the murder victims, and that was shown in a comedic way on TV, on the silver screen. Not cool, man.
When you highlighted that to me, I had to agree.
Yeah, I nearly went with my worst movie from last year. I nearly went with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows. Oh, this was offensive. This was offensive to children, to adults, to comic fans, to the Turtles. This was horrible. I had to go. Nothing comes close. Transformers 5. Yeah, you knew that was coming. Nothing comes close. I don't think I've ever hated a movie as much as I've hated this. And you know this as my best mate. I love the Transformers. Look, I walked off screen a minute ago when he said Transformers 1. How dare you? How dare you make Optimus Prime a villain? How dare you make Unicron Earth? And I know there's some new generation fanboys who go, well, actually in Transformers Prime, Unicron was Earth. Doesn't matter. The original Transformers Generation 1 is what counts. It's like, well, actually, in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers versus Dino Thunder, who cares? There's only one that counts. It's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and with the Transformers, it's only Generation 1 that counts. How dare you bastardize the law like that? You tosser. I need to...
I knew it. The minute I read Michael Bay, I knew it. That's why I was like that straight away, because hey, it's all about the link.
Oh dear. Let's do the official best and worst. AJ, do you know what? I'm gonna give you a big clue here.
I'm part of the same franchise, I'm guessing.
Okay, yes, but not Transformers.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a massive clue I've just given you.
Ooh.
The official best and worst by Rotten Tomatoes, the biggest aggregation of film critics in the world, scores his worst movie as, AJ, have a stab. There's only 2 of them. One's the best, one's the worst.
Not Transformers.
Not Transformers.
That is not hurt me, because the only other franchise I can think he's done is Bad Boys, and I've just said Bad Boys.
So give you a second clue.
Okay.
Technically, he didn't direct this, he produced it, but it's still accredited to him.
Are we talking Turtles?
Ooh, that would have been a good guess, but not. Is that your guess, though?
I was going to go Last Night, but I'm thrown out. I'm baffled. I can't actually say I've got one in my mind now. I can't think what the movie would be.
The worst is a little horror movie called Ouija.
Come again?
Ouija. You know, like a Ouija board.
Yeah.
Ouija. 7%.
Okay.
That's the worst.
Right.
What's the best?
I was going to go Transformers, number 1. And you're going to ask me for the full name, and I thought that was just the full name to the film. It's not Transformers 1.
What's your guess?
That's my guess, Transformers 1, but you're saying the full name. So I'm going to go with But then I don't know the names of them. This is why I say I have to do Transformers all over again. Because of where you're at, I will go Transformers 3, and their name was
Dark of the Moon.
Dark of the Moon.
You would be incorrect.
It was number 2, wasn't it?
No. Number 2. So, the worst was Ouija. The best, part of the same franchise. That was your clue. Ouija 2, Origin of Evil.
Do you know what? You said to me as part of the franchise, and I was like, okay. But considering I heard of neither, and I'll be honest, if I do, hey, hands up, please, it's going to stream into what I'm going to say next. I haven't heard of either, so I really thought, well, he must be talking about a different franchise.
Origin of Evil got 83%. I remember seeing this in the cinema, and it was, this is, just remembering it now, this movie was so bad that I actually, because I try and review everything I've seen, I actually went home, went to sleep, woke up the next day, and forgot to review it. I forgot to review this movie.
Not at you.
I forgot to put this movie on my worst list of last year. Okay. It didn't stay in my memory. The moment I walked out the cinema, I was like, what just happened? Where's the 2 hours of my life gone? But it got 83%. Okay, here is where I will be, I guess, on a very small island. I don't understand the world of critics when you vote Ouija, Origin of Evil, 83%. Don't get it. Sorry. Shit movie, in my humble opinion. And you haven't even heard of them.
Okay, guys, please, comment below. Have you heard of them?
They probably have.
Hands up, you probably have.
You're not a horror fan.
Yeah, that could be part of my problem. But again, what is your favourite Michael Bay movie? What is your worst Michael Bay movie? I'm guessing a piece of him. But either way, whatever you do, thumbs up and subscribe, because the Silver Screen dudes need you. It keeps us going. That's what keeps us fueled, loving you guys and everything about it. So guys, I would love to hear from you.
And until the next time, from yours truly, Nico Luro and the one AJ Anthony Jordan, see ya.